Take it away.
Oh shit. Listen, I almost before we even went live, I was like, what episode are we on? Doing it bi-weekly has me
That's why I stopped doing
misremembering.
it.
Yeah, no, we're on 32 now. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, or middle of the night to you people. It's we're here for episode 32 of the BDB, and I'm gonna throw it over to my co-host, see how he's been past 2 weeks.
Oh. Good,
Yes,
good. Busy, but good.
busy
Uh,
but good.
yeah.
And we hung out quite well. There's three things I want to talk about, and I want your perspective too on it, because we've been able to see each other quite a few times the past 2 weeks, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Oh my god. And I call it. I think this might be the title of this week's podcast. We would call it maybe like the 2 nights of the living edible. We could call it that. We could. But anyway, the gist of it is, we went to see. This was 2 Saturdays ago. We went to see uh, the new James
Double
Bond
O
movie,
Seven. No Time to Die.
No Time to Die, or as we told our friend who's always late, I said that if he was in a James Bond movie, they would call the movie, because he's always late whenever we meet up, and we would call it Too Late to Die.
Too Late
What
to
else did I
Die.
say?
Yeah, that was good.
Or Too Late to Live.
Too
So-
Late to Die is good.
Too Late to Die. And so we went, and I decided it would be. I said it's a night out with the boys, and I took a 42 milligram edible.
As you always do.
Not always, man. Fuck you, man.
As you do
Uh,
99% of the time.
bullshit. Don't be spreading no misinformation
This is
about me.
not misinformation.
No, not all the time, man. Fuck you, man.
That's
Anyway,
debatable. Not all the time. Okay.
yeah, any
Alright,
shit.
anyways, continue. Yeah.
Don't let my Persian side come out. So I popped it, and it started to kick as we were eating chicken wings before the movie. So we're eating chicken wings, and at one point I stopped, and my brain wanted to filter through my mouth, like funnel out the words. What were we doing again? While we're eating dinner, and thank God my brain kicked in and said, "Dude, dickhead, idiot, you're eating dinner, like you're eating chicken wings. That's what you're doing right now." And I didn't say it out loud, but I told you guys what my brain was about to spit out if I didn't stop it. And
Yeah.
then we see No Time to Die, and unfortunately, I don't want to listen. I want to get your perspective first. You come from a more informed perspective on the Daniel Craig stuff. Did you?
Oh,
No, you didn't like it, did you?
no.
Let us
You know,
know.
you know what? I don't know. Not to be. I've never slept in a movie theater before, but this was the first time that I did. Now, to be fair, I woke up at 5 that day. I worked a 12-hour shift. Uh, I still don't think so. That's the reason because I was fine after the movie. I was still active. So
Yeah, you
that
were.
movie was bland. That's all I gotta say. It was nothing like was outright bad about it, but it was so cookie cutter, so fucking no personality, no sense of humor. Like I don't know. There were a couple of cool scenes, but nothing. There was nothing special about that movie. You're not missing out. It's the villain was shows up for like a few moments. Not it's a terrible Rami Malek Russian accent. I don't know. I don't need to see Rami Malek doing a Russian accent. Like
I
come
didn't
on,
like the accent too much, but whatever.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bond. No,
Oh
okay.
my God, dude. I don't know if it was amplified because I was stoned throughout it. And I did you wait? You actually slept? How long? Like bits of it?
I was drifting in and
In
out
and out?
in the middle in the middle.
In and out. Everyone. So it must be the weed, because I felt like that movie flew by, but then everyone else is like, "That's a long movie." I'm
Yo,
like,
it was a
"What are you
long
talking?"
ass movie. Even if I fucking slept through part of it, like it was still. I felt like, oh my god, when is this gonna end?
And I was worried that I passed out on the edible, but I didn't. I asked the person we went with, and I'm like, "Dude, did I pass out?" He's like, "No, I didn't see you asleep." So, but then that didn't change the fact that I didn't like the villain either. Like
No.
I didn't like him,
No,
but
no, Chris. It's not fun anymore. Like, he's so Daniel Craig. Say whatever you will about him. Like, he. It's what they would call the gritty and realistic James Bond or whatnot. There's no fun in watching him, man. There's no personality. It's fucking. Casino Royale was good, but anything that I saw after that I was not impressed with. I don't know.
Casino Royale, yeah,
His first one
that's
as
considered like an
as Bond.
all-time great Bond movie, if not
Probably.
like
That's probably
number
the
one.
best Daniel Craig one, but anything after that, like, come on, man. Just.
I saw bits of Skyfall and maybe a bit of a chunk of Spectre, and that was it. And I came in pretty uh uninformed on it, but there was some really dope moments just from like the lines the character spoke, but it wasn't. I didn't like it.
No.
But that's just me. I don't, because I came uninformed. I think I'd appreciate it more if I saw the old ones.
There's no, like, I don't know, man. James Bond movies, it's about cool gadgets, it's about international spy shit, it's about wacky car chases, like,
Now I dig that though. I
it
the two
it's
James,
it's closer to
yeah,
King's, like, I feel like Kingsman is closer to the idea of James Bond than what James Bond is now. I don't know. Kingsman, at least, yeah, it's cornier and probably tackier, but it's at least a more entertaining watch compared to Bond these days.
yeah.
It's more
And
schlocky, but whatever.
the other thing is like, um, what was I gonna say? Oh, like I only knew two James Bonds really growing up: Pierce Brosnan, if
Yeah.
I pronounced his last name right, and Timothy Dalton. Like those are the two Bonds that I either saw movies of or saw the most footage of. And so now ever since seeing that movie, now I'm in the mood to like go from eventually and slowly rewatch all the James Bonds from
All
like
of
Sean
them?
Connery
Oh, shit.
onwards. Yeah, I'm in a mood for it. Maybe I'll do it. But
Yeah, go for it. It's good
um
to see you watch something non comic book related for
oh
once.
man, fuck you,
Fuck
dude.
you. Try to
Again,
deny that shit.
it's not all the time, man. I
Yeah, it is all
sometimes
the time.
dibble dabble out of it.
Yeah.
But that is more correct than the first statement about the pot.
They're
You got
equally
that one.
correct. They're equally correct.
No, they're not equally correct. Don't listen to this fucker. Anyways, well, this is not gonna help my case. But then we had Night of the Living Edible Part Two, where
Exactly.
we played, where we had
Exactly.
blackjack.
Thank you.
This is hey,
This is
no,
not
no, no, no,
helping
no.
your case. You said
It's
it.
no. Listen, we don't worry about it. These are anyway. Ignore him. We were. Do you remember the tire fire scotch that our friend brought that day? It
Yeah,
smelled
briefly.
so strong. We're sitting and playing blackjack at the table,
Not with real
and
money, just saying.
no, yeah, not with real money. Just chips. Literally chips, like Lay's
Chips.
chips and
Oh,
chips, like poker chips
that
and Lay's chips.
aforementioned friend was late again, so I was just eating potato chips until he brought my, because he was bringing my food over too. I think I ate 1.5 bags of Lay's family-sized potato chips that day.
You did. You
Yeah,
demolished
the
it.
the.
And the onion dip.
Oh, that was so good.
I think the onion dip, everybody after was saying the onion dip activated the edible. Cause this, I will get into the story, but you destroyed those chips, and this friend, by the way, was the one who was always late, like we call him James Bond, too late to die.
Yeah,
That one,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that friend. And then our other friend brings this scotch, and I asked him for the name of it. He said it's called Ardbeg 10, bro. I don't know. Somebody in the
Sounds like a
comments,
fucking
please let me.
chemical compound.
It sounds like a chemical. It smelled like a chemical
It's.
compound. I remember the table just reeking of this scotch. I'm like, holy! Did you not smell that, or was it just my
I
senses
took a whiff
amplified?
of it, yeah, but yeah, it smelled nasty. Like I
Oh
said,
my god!
anything that smells like that shouldn't be going into your body. That's what I said.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
said
god!
that. Yeah,
He poisoned the table with that constant tire fire
yeah,
smell. And I remember, all he kept, all he said, like he kept sipping it, and he's like, delicious, delicious. And you can see that juxtaposes what you said. That's like that should not be going in your body. Meanwhile, there's a dude who brings it. He's like, fucking delicious,
yeah,
as he's sipping it. And then keep in mind, I took a two. This is not a big difference. A 2 milligram lower dosage of the edible that night with the blackjack. So I
yeah.
took 40, not 42 and a half or
Big
40, whatever
difference.
the
Yeah,
fuck. Big difference apparently because I took 40, but then I had two vodka sodas because I'm dieting and self plug. I've 60 pounds down so far. Cheers, which is fucking
Yeah, that's awesome.
great. But anyway, I
It's so
had
painful that you have to
two.
do drugs.
It is it is so painful. They have to take drugs, but they enjoy it. And I had two more drinks to enjoy it more. So I had four vodka sodas, and that took me over the moon. I was like, you know, Animorphs, guys. You read the books as a kid, Animorphs with like the metamorphosing person or whatever the fuck the word is. I can never get that word right. Metamorphosizing. I don't know. And I was like that. I was like going through changes, and I was like, oh no, this is. And at one point, I just got up after we finished blackjack. I'm like, hold on one second. I sat on the couch, and I'm like, you guys got to give me a second. It's like I have to lay down. What did you see from your vantage point? Like, was
Looked like
I
you were
pale?
dozing
Like, what
off
was? It was hilarious in retrospect,
for
and
you.
oh,
For
it was
you.
so fun. For you, it was. It put me on the moon. I was like Jim Carrey. I was man on the moon. Like I would stand up, and it was a constant head rush. Like uh, I can't describe it more than that. And I'm like, damn, those two drinks must have just put me over the edge. And it wore. So it was like a 2 hour and 45 minute period of like that. And then after that, when we got to eating Korean barbecue, it wore off on its own. So. But yeah, sometimes that's what you got to do, people. Sometimes you have to stick a finger in your ass via edible, but if you stick a finger in your ass for real, I'm not against it. You know,
Nobody
if you do
said you
that in your
had to do that.
spare time,
That's the thing.
that's a joke. It's a joke. Nobody has to do it. I'm just saying it as a
Well,
joke.
you have to do it, apparently.
Okay, great. Yes,
Yeah.
I must. But I would say that was like you hear about people greening out. Like I think any more, and I probably would have greened out, like passed out or fully. Like you would not have woken me up, or you would have, but I would have been like.
No, I would have left you in a street or somewhere.
I would have been just like making noise, like like unable to talk. And then tell the story that we saw each other yesterday out of the blue. Please,
Oh
I
yeah,
want you to
just
tell the story.
on a break during work. Came back from lunch and I saw Value Village. I look through what they have sometimes just to see if they have an interesting movie or something. And I see this guy that's walking around. I because you had the mask on and
Hmm?
your hair tied, so the only thing that I had to go by was the glasses. And I'm like, I've seen these fucking glasses before.
Yeah, boy.
So I fucking followed you through half the store because I couldn't make up my mind if it was you or not. Because I've done that before, where I'm like, oh, is that? Oh, never mind, and it's so weird, when you get it wrong. Because I wanted to say something like, is what is it that you're looking for or some shit like that. I wanted to surprise you, but I think you caught on, and then we just fucking realized that we're looking at each other IRL.
there's there's more to this. The way you approached me, like I'm there looking for. I'm like, oh, maybe Value Village has comic
I
books. I
was
gotta
I
get
was doing like
something.
the worst stealth ever.
Worst. What? Because I'm looking, and I see this dude in bright colors out of the
Yeah.
corner of my eye, and he's kind of looking at me. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, do I know this dude? Does he know me? Because I'm like, is this an old acquaintance who's staring me down?
Yeah.
And so he's coming from the left, right? Like you're in the
Yeah.
left initially, and I don't know what you do. You like, I think you circle around the other side. So I turn to look at the other bookcase,
Yeah.
and you come around. You're like, Radicus? I'm like, hey, and I'm like, so that's you giving me like
Yeah.
he's giving me the stank eye. Like I
Yeah.
feel the
I
stank
was,
eye. Like I don't know how to
yeah, I
explain
was
it.
giving you the judgmental eye, the evil eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like you're giving me the stank eye, and I'm like, what is going? I'm like, okay, and then you finally approached me, and we just talked after that, and I just. Okay, because I was getting groceries in the area, and I was like, I might as well hit up Value Village. I've heard legends of what you can maybe find there, but
Yeah,
I didn't
that
find
location was disappointing. They only had like one rack. That
for movies.
Yeah, that location
Yeah,
wasn't as poppin' as Mississauga is poppin', I gotta say. You go there anytime, you'll find definitely something that an interesting movie or Blu-ray or some old funky electronic console or some shit. There's always something going on. Yeah,
For real, huh? Yeah,
yeah.
because I don't. There wasn't much. It was my first experience, and I was like, eh, this isn't. No,
That
not
that one
first,
was
but
one of the more clothing focused stores, I think, because most of the shopping space
yeah,
was taken up by coats and jackets and
yeah, like
shit.
3/4 of it. It's
Yeah,
just all clothing. I
yeah,
mean, but people who go for clothing, they probably found good stuff. Anyway, I mean that those are like three. We had three encounters, and two
yeah.
of them were Night of the Living edible. So there's that. 2 out of 3. Not a good ratio.
No, it's not. And with the sample data that I have, it doesn't get better.
Hey,
Anyways,
God.
we should proceed.
Yeah, go ahead.
But
I mean,
I'll
do you
give
want
you
me to?
credit for one thing, even though you're a degenerative pothead, drug addict, whatever. But
Hey!
um, during while losing weight, the fact that you got packs of chips for us, like I could never do that. Like I can't eat these chips, and yet I'm gonna buy them for these fuckers that are gonna eat it in front of me. Like that takes
I, j-
some
I,
resolve.
I do that because, like, I wanted you guys to, like, enjoy and be comfortable. So I'm like, get the chips, but
Well,
you
I
can't eat
definitely
them.
did.
I
Yeah,
just did it, and I just knew I'm like, I can't eat this, but it's for them. And
that
when you're laser focused on anything in life, I think you'll make that sacrifice. It just takes laser focus. But yeah, I appreciate the compliment, especially combined with being high. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would
yeah.
think you'd want to eat, but I don't know. They don't give me munchies, thank God. Anyway, I'm very fortunate
Give
for
you
that
everything
because
else. So what have
yeah.
we got here? For
Well, do you want me to start it off with this or?
sure.
I mean, have you played Earthworm Jim
Yeah,
ever?
of course. I think I mentioned
Okay,
it before here.
I think so, and I've played it like a couple times, and they're getting an animated series apparently, but it's not on like HBO or Netflix or something. At least the article doesn't mention anything about it, as I read it. But I was thinking about it as I read the article. Because when you visited me, we were looking at the Steam sales, and we saw Worms. And as I was reading this article after, I'm like, I always in
Now,
my
people
head
call
kind of
me
get
Earthworm.
Worms and Earthworm Jim mixed up. Except one is obviously like bipedal, he's walking. I've never played the Worms games, but anyway, I don't know if people who care about this out there. I mean, I kind of think it's cool that they're getting an animated series. I swear they had one before though, in the 90s, I want to say.
I feel like too, but this one is the animation quality actually looks really good and it's
Yeah,
3D.
yeah, it looks
Looks
obviously it looks much better. And then
looks pretty clean. Yeah.
yeah, I mean like I don't know, what do you think of that? I mean, are you gonna I don't know if you'd watch
Yeah,
it. There's
you're
just
right.
too much content.
There was an animated series in the 90s. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was remembering that too. I don't know. It depends on what platform it comes out on or what audience it's aimed at. It doesn't make sense for it to be aimed at a kid's audience because they wouldn't have been around for this game, right? So hopefully it's more,
Yeah,
young adult, mature type
that'd be good.
comedy. That would be good.
I would like fucked up jokes. That'd be
Yeah,
good if they can do that.
yeah.
And talking about like that sort of 90s stuff, the Power Rangers, I think Power Rangers was a 90 thing, not if anything late 80s, but they're
Yeah.
getting a cinematic universe.
Oh boy.
What is going on? Everybody and their father is getting a cinematic universe. And apparently this was like announced a year ago that they would do it, and I had no idea. But it's going to consist of like connected film and TV stuff. And all of it is going to Netflix. All of it. So I don't know. Did you ever watch? I mean, I did watch Power Rangers when I was a kid. Just like select, like it was never like consistent. It was always like random. So I never knew if there was any interconnectivity or anything in those movies or shows or whatever. But I do remember like watching Power Rangers. Did you?
In passing, yeah, I never sat down and watched it, but it would come up as I would go through the channels, but I never got the yeah, I never got into it.
Same. And apparently, but they have that fighting game too, and then they got the comics as well. There's some Power Ranger comics which I hear are good, but I don't know. It's just I wanted to bring this up because it's just this is a cinematic universe trend. Who's
Yeah.
getting it? Power Rangers. We have the comic cinematic universes. What else is there? Can you name any other like cinematic universes?
Sonic Cinematic Universe.
Sonic is getting one. Thank
I
you.
feel like it's crazy because cinematic universe implies that you have multiple franchises that connect together in some uh, Avengers type all star thing. But
Nintendo's doing it, right?
all these one off fucking no.
Yeah. Isn't Nintendo doing one with
Well,
like
making
Mario
a
and
Mario movie doesn't mean it's a Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
no, apparently they announced other like in passing some other projects. I don't have an
Yeah,
article
but
for it,
unless
but
they connect, that's the thing. That's my criteria for a
apparently
cinematic
that's their
universe.
intention. I don't know.
Because look at the name, it's universe. It implies it's in the same universe. That means they must connect somehow.
Yeah.
Mario and Zelda, as far as I know, are not in the same fucking universe.
No, they're not.
Completely
No.
different.
That's actually a good point. I don't know how they would do it then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Anyway,
don't call it a fucking cinematic universe.
and I want you, and on the note
As
of
much shit as we give Marvel, that's one of the few cinematic universes, the legitimate one.
yes,
Yeah.
that is. Oh, I had a Marvel qualm that I wanted to bring up, and I just don't remember it.
We always have
Something
a
that
Marvel
says
clone.
something popped up regarding because I watched episode 1 of Hawkeye, and I had something I wanted to bring up about it, but I don't remember. Anyway, I'm sure I'll remember. If I remember later, I'll bring it up. But I want you to take away the next thing because you brought this up to me
Alright,
right before.
so GTA Definitive Edition. Now,
Oh,
I didn't buy this, but I have Xbox and I have Game Pass. You might be surprised by this, what I'm about to say. So the whole trilogy isn't available on Game Pass, but San Andreas is. So I downloaded it, nothing to lose, free, or quote unquote free. I thought it's okay. It looks good. It runs at a good frame rate. I didn't so far run into any glitches or bugs. Yeah, the character models are a bit wonky, but the game environment itself looks really good. And it runs at a good resolution and frame rate on my Xbox. The controls are much improved in terms of shooting over the original. If you have if you have a PS2 or some shit, go back and try shooting in the original San Andreas and let me know how that goes. It's that
oh,
fucking lock on aiming that's awful. This one you can change it to free aim, at least. Yeah. And there's a weapon wheel, which is a very convenient addition. Basically, it's San Andreas, but with the nice quality of life things from GTA 5, like GPS, radar,
oh!
weapon wheel, improved controls, really good visuals in my opinion so far.
I just heard
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't
a dumpster fire. I
I
heard.
I don't know. Like I haven't tried Vice City or 3 yet, so I can't say. I
Oh,
think maybe a lot of people had complaints targeted towards those specific games, but San Andreas so far so good. And
I have the most memory of Vice City and San Andreas.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah. What were you
with
saying?
this nice frame rate and visuals, like you could argue it looks a little bit too clean. It kind of takes away from that dirty aesthetic that
Crispy.
crispy, you could say. But it's fine. It's good.
You know, when you
I
initially
don't
told me
have any
about this,
complaints.
sorry, what?
I don't have any complaints.
Okay, well, you're definitely in the minority from what I've read about it. And thing is, when you initially brought up this topic, like talking about a GTA Definitive Edition, because I, so we write this. Obviously, we write our topics down before, and so when you wrote it down, I was like, I was about to snap. I was like, do not tell me this is GTA 5 Definitive Edition.
Oh no 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 no.
And then, because if it
Although
was, I was about
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's definitely gonna be a thing.
dude, they milk the
They're
like
gonna.
this cow.
It's the
This
Skyrim.
GTA cow is like shriveled.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
Skyrim.
its bones are protruding. This poor cow, and they're just like, "Come on, you fuck!" And they're just trying to milk it out of for every
They
drop of GTA milk.
they can't just they can't just increase the resolution and frame rate for the next generation like every other publisher,
No,
excuse me, is doing. They have to do some GTA 5 um
voodoo.
fucking drugged up and left in LA edition. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna call it.
Left in old Crenshaw.
Yeah, left in old Crenshaw.
It reminded me of when I said Crenshaw, I just remembered Rush Hour
Yeah,
2.
fuck, trying to do it. Fuck.
But if you're when you're getting some time
You
off this
embarrassing me in
holiday,
front of my friends.
oh, dude, yeah, hold on, I'm gonna stand up. My favorite is, I think I even talked about it when we met up in person. My favorite is
Fucking Don
this. So
Cheadle. This.
I rolled, hold on, I rolled up my sleeves
Yeah.
because my favorite is when he's like this,
You
right?
embarrass me
And
in front of my friends.
he's like, what did he say?
You
He's
embarrass
like,
me.
he says that, but he also, Chris Tucker is like,
You can't just walk in here with.
no, he says, fuck, what did he say? He says, "Oh yeah, who told you that?" And he's like, and he's like, and he's like, and then Don Cheadle's character goes, "Oh, don't you worry, I got my sources." He goes like this.
So good.
He's like this, and it's the best part. The whole time he's like this, the whole
Yeah,
time.
it's
I'm
so
sorry,
good.
people. It looks weird on my shirt, but he's all like this the whole time.
No, when you said Crenshaw, that's what I thought. Yeah. Anyways,
Crenshaw.
about GTA, like maybe Vice City and 3 are more fucked up, but San Andreas so far seems okay. I think people are just losing their shit. I think a lot of things with these things is people complaining who haven't even bought the game or played it.
Why is that even a thing? Like
It's
people
just
who
like
don't
movies.
even
It's
own
just
a
hype.
copy.
It's like lemmings. People just
Bandwagon.
yeah bandwagon. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually about that whole bandwagoning thing. It's kind of interesting what written word can do. Like you you could have like an opinion on something, and then seeing what other people write can make you change. Like it's just when you stop and think about it, it's a bit ridiculous, but it's also a bit scary and kind of
The
shows how we get
Yeah, and I guess
wrapped
the
up.
one good thing to come out of the hate is at least they brought back, I believe, the original versions. So if somebody wants to play it in fucking 480p 30 FPS, they can go right ahead. I'll stick with the new one. You know. But it's good for
Fair enough.
preservation. Keep the original version for people who want to play it, you know.
Yeah,
Don't remove the original from the store. Maybe some people prefer
yeah.
that one, you know.
Which from what you told me though, it'd be hard to prefer that older jank, but
I
it has its
personally,
charm.
if I have a nice new Xbox console and a nice TV, why would I not play the nice new remastered shiny version? I don't know. I don't know. The any downsides I guess in the definitive edition are not significant enough for me to be pissed about it so
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
What else was I gonna ask you before we go? Oh, if you're finding some time off like this holiday season, like, do you have any movies or games you're planning on playing? You have a backlog of anything?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So trying to trying to finish a couple of still have to finish my Resident Evil 8.
I was about
Been
to ask you
holding
about
that
that.
off. Yeah. Just because of time. Fuck. What was else? Couple of visual novels that I need to finish. Yeah.
You've always been a proponent of those things.
Oh yeah, I still agree.
Yeah.
I still
Only
stand by the notion that Steins Gate, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Steins Gate is the best story ever told in in the modern entertainment medium. Any medium, movie, game, film, book, whatever. Steins Gate is the best story
let me look
that
this
I
up.
that I have
Steins
experienced.
Gate.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
a
it's an
visual
animated
novel, but
series?
yeah, it's a visual novel, but it got an anime adaptation. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how good the anime is. I've heard it's a good adaptation, but the
Oh,
visual
it's from
novel,
'09.
fucking amazing. Yeah, it's on Steam if you
Whoa.
wanna give that a look, or just watch the anime if that's your more of your thing. But yeah, I'd
That's
say the closest thing
interesting.
I can compare it to is Interstellar, if you've seen that.
Oh,
Yeah,
it says science fiction, so
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
see that now.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm clueless. I've only played one visual novel, and it was like the most it's like the vanilla one, like Hatoful Boyfriend, where
Oh
I
yeah,
got killed in 2 playthroughs and I didn't know what the fuck was going
that
on.
one's more like a parody, I guess, of the visual novel.
Is
Yeah,
it? Okay.
there's some pretty degenerate ones and fucking all that NSFW ones, but Steins Gate is it has none of that shit.
Oh, I just looked at it. Why is damn? I'm surprised it cost this much. But then again, maybe I got a PC port or something that I.
What are you
Huh?
looking at?
Steins Gate. I'm looking at it on Steam. Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero, Steins Chaos Child bundle. I don't know. I'll look at this later.
I believe on sale that you can grab it for $15, which I did.
Yeah, and the Steam sale literally just blew up as we were recording. So,
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah, man. That's. I think we're good for now. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll reconnect with you folks.
sounds
It
good.
was, and I think we might. Uh, Obviously, if both of us agree on it, it'd be nice to call this one the Night of the Living Edible. But we'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, uh, I'm stretching over to get all the plugs. So, oh, shameless plug. I will be. I'm taking a I've been taking a hiatus off streaming, but anyways, just give a follow at my Twitch, twitch.tv/radicus_. And then as for our podcast, please, as usual, please subscribe. Subscribe. I didn't even say that in one go. Please sub on our YouTube at Bottom Dollar Banter, BDB. Make sure you please like the video, comment, all that stuff helps us. Follow us on our Spotify at Bottom Dollar Banter, good old Twitter at BD Banter Podcast, Instagram at Bottom Dollar Banter. Anything else before we go, dude? Or are you good?
Nope.
Good to go?
Yep.
All right. So that's it, folks. Other than that, for 2 weeks, because of our bi-weekly schedule now, in case you didn't know before, we're going to go and swim in the sea of snow. Not even water, just snow. Yeah. Anyway, I don't like winter. That's that. All right. See you, people. Take care,
Peace.
everybody.